Welcome back, everybody, to College COD week at number 3. Once again, my name is Seymour. With me, Cruz, the dynamic duo here from Canada, bringing it back for another year of College COD. I love it, Jesse. I missed being on the desk with you for CCL. I'm happy to have my duo back. I love Corn, but I'm happy to have you back.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I felt real bad leaving you alone last week with that goofball Corn, but you know what? We're back. It's all good. We can leave the Americans away. And it's a Canadian desk, all right, ladies and gentlemen, and that's what matters is the Canadian desk.
And you know what? Do you make it even more Canadian, Jesse? We're stuck in a snowstorm, so it's even better over here. It's cold out, folks. Save me, please. I'm trapped. The snow, it's tall. It's blocking my doorway.
You really might be trapped by the end of the broadcast. You're not wrong.
Well, we can still have fun with it, Jesse. We got James Madison now going up against UT Chattanooga for a second match of the day. We just got done with Fisher College and their swift 3-0 over Farmingdale State. And we bring it over to the southeast portion of our divisions. Now, I'm excited for this one because we saw James Madison last week, and they knocked HPU out of the top 25, Jesse. So, talking about this team, they poured their heart and soul and their passion into the game. You got T-Web. He was shooting bodies, letting them know last week, and I think if today is going to be as passionate as it was last week for James Madison, I expect to hear a serenade of shots at the end of at the end of the match.
Yeah, a nice little salute, if you will. But yeah, T-Web, I think, is also going to be the player here for the starting roster of James Madison that really needs to pop off. I mean, he played really, really well last week, like you said, a junior for this team, and really needs to pop off again here today against another very good team. A team that, hasn't found a ton of success here throughout the CCL this season, but still has been good nonetheless and definitely has some of the foundational pieces to be very successful.
We got Prey, Kelp, T-Web, Poker. Excited to see what this roster can do. But let's take a look at their opponents for today. We got UT Chattanooga, and this is a team that I'm excited to see, Jesse, because since losing Click, this team has been working through their small issues and molding together to be a team that actually has a chance to, upset a couple of these rosters in their division. They got Red Chase, Superior, Slim, and Pixels.
All I can tell you is I am never, ever betting against a team that has Red Chase on the roster. This man runs a submachine gun, can do it all, though. I mean, a very, very talented player on the likes of UT Chattanooga, a player who, honestly, I feel like a lot of CCL kids coming into the scene probably look up to as well. He's been a star in the CCL for years to come. Yeah. And like you said, he loses his duo last year in Clicks, and the team really hasn't looked the same this year without him. But Pixels is stepping up. They're integrating their way into the roster with Superior and Slim, who are returning from last year as well. If Pixels can find their way in, they can find a solid foot forward. This team, in my mind, Colin, is just going to get better and better as the year goes along.
We got to see them on stream a couple of weeks ago. You and I, we weren't casting them, but we saw them play, and Superior and Slim have been impressing me, and kind of stepping up this year, where last year they were a little bit hit or miss. So I'm excited to see, what they bring today against JMU. Let's take a look at our heads-ahead, though, as we got a 5-0 JMU looking to stay flawless against a 3-1 UT Chattanooga. I mean, Jesse, it really kind of speaks for itself when you look at the stats there for James Madison, because this team have been phenomenal this year.
They have been really good, but they haven't had the cleanest victories, right? Like a lot of game 5 so far. And so this team, they're getting the job done, which is great. But to be able to come out and just be very, very clean consistently is not an easy thing to do inside of the CCL. So we'll see what James Madison can do today. That big win last week over High Point obviously is a big talking point as well. I think that if they can come out and kind of keep finding success here throughout the division, that's when we can maybe start to talk about James Madison and be like, oh, this team is the real deal. I think this matchup against Box COD could really be one of those matchups that could kind of really determine on whether or not we're going to see this team be a pop-off performance throughout the rest of this year.
Well, let's take a look at our maps for this series, Jesse, across this best of 5, because I'm excited to see if, James Madison go all the way to another Game 5 where we're looking at LSELO for that Search and Destroy. But to begin, we got Embassy Hardpoint alongside our Hotel Search and Destroy, LSELO Control, and then, like I said, we got a Hydro Hardpoint and an LSELO if this goes the distance.
And two maps I'm not surprised at all to see UT Chattanooga ban out is Fortress. I mean, when you look at their overall map counts right now, Fortress 0-1 across the board, and then on the other side for James Madison on Fortress 1-0 across the board. I haven't lost it if you're James Madison, haven't won one if you're UT Chattanooga. So to not see one come through here today, not really too surprised there for the likes of UTC. I don't think they're a big fan of that map. But yeah, overall, I mean, this is going to be a fun map, a very scrappy map 1. It's going to be a scrappy map number 2 as well with a hotel search and destroy. And I mean, El Asilo, Hydro, El Asilo to kind of wrap it off. It's going to be 3 really, really big maps. So I think you kind of get a good balance here. You get some of the scrappy close quarters played through map 1 and 2, but the rest of the games are all kind of going to be a little bit slower paced. Everybody's going to be trying to find those angles to be able to pick each other off. I think we're going to be in for a really fun one.
Yeah, especially considering, I mean, we have a Hydro, map number 4. I mean, Hydro and Embassy are 2 very, very different maps when it comes down to the hard point, you know. I'd say, you know, Hydro is a little bit more rotation heavy, where on an Embassy in map number 1, expect to see, you know, sometimes even 3 SMGs on the field at times. So it's going to be scrappy, like you said, Jesse. It is going to be an absolute mixer. And for James Madison, the only question is, Jesse, are they the gatekeepers of top 25 right now? I mean, they just knocked out High Point. Can they knock out UT Chattanooga as well?
Well, I mean, a very good start there. 3 down in the feed immediately here for the likes of UTC, and JMU will immediately push forward, get onto the point. And yeah, they're locking down a good chunk of time here. Red Chase trying to do what they can, but so far off the bat of this game, I mean, UTC does get 10 seconds, but immediately map control, time, everything going the way of JMU right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to get time on this first hill, but both teams, you know, relatively even. Cross P1. Somebody slipped the line as Pixel's trying to, you know, stay alive towards this back white truck area for the spawns, though he's going to be sniffed out with a pinch, and Kelp's going to clean him up. So you're still looking at this rotation if you're UTC to pull those spawns. You got number 7 now, taking up the mantle of Superior with the AR. He's going to let them know, although traded out quickly by Prey as JMU for this rotation over to P2. This is some good time. Kelp just needs to stay alive.
And Kelp really popping off right now to start this game. 4 in a row here. Still collecting time as well. And now JMU Esports will also be able to take the lead. And right now, UTC just having a hard time being able to push in from the front. Unfortunately, Kelp will get tagged up by a nade. Not able to find that 5th and 6th in a row to find that streak here. But honestly, that streak not really going to find too much success on this map either way. I
mean, maybe for P3 break, but no, you are correct on that one, and I like that from UT Chattanooga. They were holding it from the front, so they have the rotation over to P3 early. They're going to chalk it up for this AC hold, and Pixel is going to have such a good timing there onto Poker. The comms weren't there, and teammate wasn't able to recognize that, and he is just a little bit of a do-si-do around the map across these players, and Pixel's going to side a second one too. Can't take down Poker's a second time, but he's got Superior still for the rotation.
Yeah, and Superior locking things down, right? Able to completely stop that from coming through, and you can see Pixels is going to spawn up over towards the top right-hand side of the map by the tennis courts, and able to at least stop one on this push, be a little bit of an annoyance, but 4 go down in the feed as Poker and Prey combine for all 4, and right into the hill they go, and this is a very deep spawn out here for the rest of the UTC players.
Yeah, it is going to be a tough one for sure. Red Chase and Pixels, though, still looking for that way across the bridge. You got Slim, top admin, and I love this from JMU. They are just kind of keeping UTC at arm's reach. Mox Cod can't come anywhere close to touching that AC hill. Slim's going to be working the back spawn for admin, but what he doesn't know is T-Web is in the back locking down these spawns, and I'm glad I'm seeing T-Web play consistent like this. He's 6-5, but he's a player. Last time I saw him last week, he was very consistent across the whole 5 maps.
And continuing that here today, it's something you absolutely love to see. And again, you'll get JMU, the first team inside of the Embassy building, holding on right now. Superior, though, trying to make a flank play in through the top. We'll get the player off the back, and actually we'll combine with Slim as well for 2. So this is so far so good in terms of looking for the break here. But Poker inside the hill will combine for 2 and at least slow that down. Might give JMU enough time to get off spawn and get back.
Oh, Superior almost lines up 2 towards H. It's going to be Pixels to clean up the rest of them, as this one is getting a little bit hot and heated inside of admin, trying to work outside to see if you can box out these players of JMU, but it's not going to happen at all. The remainder of the 18 seconds, it looks like it's going to be chalked up the way of Mox Cod, and now James Madison looking to the rotation to P5. This is where I was saying you might see 3 SMGs for this hill. Gonna have to wait to see if the players are opting for that, as Superior's being a slippery snake in the backline, Jesse.
Just trying to be sneaky right now. Completely crouching around as well. Doesn't want to give away their position. Might just be able to find one, but unfortunately the doors are closed. We'll have to shoot through the walls. We'll find a hit marker and finish off that first player here, but unfortunately in doing so, the rest of his teammates will fall in the same time, and now just needs to wait before they can try to make a pinch.
And the pinch is going to work out for the break. Prey towards Laundry. Red Chase has a look all over just to stay alive on the inside, and Mox just somehow able to hold on to this hill. Number 5, Red Chase on 13 HP. Won't be able to clean up the rest, but he has help. Pixels making sure that this is uncontested for now. It's a back and forth affair over towards P5. Not a lot of time picked up in this hill, Jesse. Still looking for the scrap time. If you're Superior, do not want to give it up.
Absolutely don't. And Superior pushes forward again, combines with Red Chase, another 4 in a row here for UTC as they lock down the last few seconds. And you know what? Honestly, this final hill really has brought UTC back into the map. I mean, they weren't out of it, but they weren't really close through the first few hills there. Now, I mean, what, a 23-point game? You'll absolutely take that here if you're UTC. Able to find a few more kills as well through middle of the map. Pixel's just barely staying alive at the moment. But, I mean, if you're UTC, you just got to keep a player on the hill, keep kind of racking up a little bit of time here, and just try to flip these spawns a little bit later in the round. And honestly, we might be in for a tie game, maybe even a UTC lead by the end of this hill now.
Oh, well, now James Madison are going to break open with a clean 3 in the feed. Collect a little bit of time of their own, just make sure that there is that small gap, Jesse. T-Web on the rotation, spot Superior on the stairs, some nice damage, but not able to lock down the kill. 3 players in the rotation for UT Chattanooga, and it's T-Web just needing to stay alive in the spot.
Unfortunately, we'll end up getting picked up in the back there. So everybody on JMU also going to spawn up here now, able to get in close to the hill. But, man, I mean, a very, very rough start here for Red Chase at 12 and 16, something that you don't normally see from the player of their caliber. So maybe if Red Chase starts to pick it up, maybe that's when we start to see UTC really start to bring it back in this map.
Yeah, well, no matter what, it is a close game. You have the hill for right now. Prey's going to dip inside. 2 kills for UTC. Can Prey be enough? 4 HP. He stays alive and finds 2 to go alongside it. So here comes the rest of the cavalry as T-Web looking to split the odds for Slim staying alive as best as he can, but it's hard when you're in a sinking ship like that. The break with 30 seconds left. This is good time for James Madison.
And not just good time, but also look at the 2 players here now. 3 all rotating towards the top side of the map, trying to break their way through. Unfortunately for them, though, Pixel sees them hit the hop up over Milk and able to push their way through, able to get inside of the next hill. That whole play is just off of Pixel seeing that player's foot hanging from the roof as they climb up and over, able to get that rotation through the back, and now able to set up a hill here for UTC.
It wasn't that long until JMU were able to break. Last time around, and Poker decides he wants to take the ladder, or the I guess, quick way up. Let's see if he can find a kill, and he does. Red Chase now going to pick up the mantle from his teammate, though. Trades it out. T-Web hits his turn to slide across. 1 for 1 yet again. It's not enough for James Madison to break just yet until Kelp comes along for the play. Can he stay alive on the inside? It's a big no, as it's still UT Chattanooga for a moment. Hold. He's going to clear out that hill, but these 30 seconds, it is a big one that the Monks, they don't want to give up just yet. Jesse, last chance for Superior. He has help with Red Chase, but it's all Prey on the inside. It's always been Prey. 24 and 12, now 24 and 13. What an outstanding play from him. I'm
going to be terrified to see what Prey's non-traded kills are at the end of this game, because he has had a lot of them here inside of this one, and another 2-piece for them. I feel like they've just been a walking 2-piece. Multi-kills galore for the likes of Prey, and 25 and 14, a very good map number 1 here, and really helping put JMU on his back as they look to build this lead up further and further. Technically can win on this hill, but it's going to be very tough to hold UTC off for the whole time in terms of contestation.
Let's see if Mr. 2-piece can do it again. Slim cleans up. Nice trade there from Prey. Soaking up as much time as he can. You look at the retake from Mox. It's going to be scattered around it. Pixels goes down, so now just heading this hit. It's going to be Spearhead right through these bathroom hallways. Red Chase working alongside Superior. Superior gets in, but now it's all down to Red Chase. It's just back and forth right now from JMU side to side. But Pixels comes to the rescue. Red Chase makes it in. The last little break from UTC for 21 seconds.
A massive break considering UTC's best hill in the first set of rotations was this 5th and final hill inside a kitchen. This time through, though, it's going to be a little bit tougher. Nobody on the rotation. Everybody falls through middle of the map as they try to rotate around towards our 5th and final hill here. And now it actually looks like everybody's going to be spawning up over towards the backside of the embassy building. And now we'll need to rotate in through parking if they want to make this break.
Yeah, I like the setup from Superior. Should be forcing these spawns out for JMU back to admin, so they're going to be spawning at old. A lot of work to be done here if you're Kelp. He has some help on the inside from Prey, and it seems like that's enough. 3 down for UTC. The Mox struggling to get this break to P5 yet again. Door's going to be shut. And no way in. Pixel's going to force through the door. Trade it out. Kelp shuts him down. Still holding on. Shutting down Mox inside of this hard point. It's only 6 seconds to give up. And Team Up looking to shut this down here. And now on P5, he's going to fly. And that's a JMU map 1.
That's just pure and simple JMU submachine gun players taking over the map and not allowing the submachine guns on Mox to get comfortable whatsoever. I've not seen Red Chase have a map that poor in quite a while. Not sure how much they turned it on by the end of the map, but I can't imagine it was much more going and looking at that last kitchen hill when you just saw the 2 submachine gun players in Prey and Kelp on the side of James Madison just tearing it up round after round, and Prey ends up finishing double positive. 3,600 damage. I know it was 3,599, but we round up here in Canada. And I mean, what a map number 1 from JMU.
I'm pretty sure a majority of people round up, Jesse. Not just in Canada, but, you know, aside from the fact it's crazy numbers. And I do have to say, I am impressed with James Madison. You know, Mox, they had an idea where, you know, the rotations were there. They were the first to a majority of those hills. But Embassy, it's not a map where, you know, rotations are the biggest factor. It's the break potential. And for James Madison, you know, you put subs in the hand of Kelp and Prey and sometimes even Poker, and they were doing the dirty work all game long. You saw multiple breaks on these early setups for the Mox, and they never could get comfortable against James Madison.
And it doesn't help that Prey was just a walking 2-piece that entire map, right?
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
Every time you got into a situation where it looked like you were going to be solid, Prey pops a 2-piece and walks away with it. You're actually seeing here on the map, or on the screen right now, this was UTC's probably one bright spot of this whole game, was this first kitchen hill. As we came to it, they found almost a full 60 on it, but unfortunately, the rest of the game not as successful as that kitchen hill, and even the second time through, Prey and the rest of the JMU Esports team being very, very successful. And Colin, watching this JMU team, I mean, even myself, when I was doing my power rankings, I'm not going to lie, I was doubting them a little bit. Not because I don't think that they're a good team, but because I'm like, they haven't really faced anybody of that big of a meaning yet. High Point is good, but also fell out of top 25 last week. So I'm like, how good is this JMU roster? Well, I think they just answered us here today, because I do think this UTC team is very good, and JMU just handled them quite easily.
Oh, they did. I mean, you said it right. I mean, Prey. You're holding a rotation to the hill. What happens? Prey pops a 2-piece. You're rotating through the map, watching the middle. Prey pops a 2-piece. You're in the hill, trying to soak up this time. What happens? Jesse, say it with me. Prey pops a 2-piece. Like, come on. Like, 32 and 15 is just abnormal from a submachine gun like Prey, and he puts up the big numbers for JMU to really take a lead like that. 25 non-traded. You're wondering what he's going to finish on, and the majority of his kills were not traded. So incredible numbers from that. But I do want to talk about, you know, some of the other players for JMU that were impressive throughout that embassy. Kelp, 18 and 25. Not the prettiest scoreline for himself, but he was getting majority of, you know, the dirty work done inside the hills, you know, playing for trades, trying to be the first one in, allowing Prey to make those plays that he was. And he was kind of just the distraction that JMU needed to allow those pop-off moments from the rest of your team. So even though, you know, 18 and 25, I mean, I constantly was seeing Kelp make big plays inside the hill to trade things out, continue to hold that P5 at the end, even for JMU. I mean, Kelp was just pivotal towards the end of that game. So, I mean, Mox, it puts them against the ropes early, losing out on that map 1, but now moving into the search and destroy, Jesse. This is where we get to look to see if they can start reining it back in, because in the search and destroy records, you have 4-1 for Mox. You have 5-1 for JMU, so a little bit more even than that hardpoint record. And hopefully, if you're Mox, this is where you can stabilize.
Yeah, and if you're Mox, honestly, I think the only way you're taking this series right now after watching that map number 1 is going to be in the 2 3s and the 5s right now, because the map number 4 as well is also a map where you see James Madison just has a ton of success in terms of their hardpoint on. They're also undefeated on Hydro, and that's a map where also UTC 0-1 on, the exact same situation that we just saw from this last hardpoint. And I mean, we looked at the overall records before we came into this one. We knew that James Madison had the advantage when it came down to the hardpoints. It's going to be the rest of the game modes where really UTC has their best chance of being able to find success. S&D is a good chance for, you know, Red Chase to maybe find some singular positioning on the map, maybe find a single, find a double kill to open up the map for his team, just to kind of get a little bit loose here, especially on a map like Hotel where there's so many different routes that you can kind of play to be able to find success here. I think that if you allow Red Chase to maybe run wild, that's how you have your best chance to be able to walk away with this one here for your UTC. But by no means are they out of this series yet. I just think they might be a little bit outmatched in hardpoint in this series.
And I can't believe, you know, what I was figuring out before this is that James Madison are right now just like the Grim Reapers from the Southeast Division. They just knocked out HPU from the top 25, and they have a chance to knock out UT Chattanooga from the top 25 right now too. I can't imagine, you know, UT Chattanooga really kind of teetering on the edge right now of that spot. And if James Madison win here, we might be seeing them knock out 2 teams from the top 25 within 2 weeks. So gatekeeping top 25 JMU, I can't believe that is what we're seeing right now. But I mean, we just saw Hotel Search and Destroy in our first match for Fisher College, Jesse, and you said, you know, while we were on break that you were talking about the bedroom control for the defensive team, and as soon as you talked about it, you saw the team start to do exactly that, and it was providing a lot of success. So I think if you're UT Chattanooga, that's a good place to start.
Yeah, it's pivotal positioning, right, on the map for Search and Destroy. If you go to Hotel, whether it's Search and Destroy, whether it's Control, whether it's Hardpoint for some of the hills as well, you need bedroom control if you're on the left side of the map. And it's just plain and simple as that. If you have bedroom control, you're going to win a lot more rounds. It is high ground. It is also low ground if you play the low ground. And honestly, with having 2 angles or 3 different angles up there that you can play different spots, either playing top bedroom or bottom bedroom, it can be really, really, really annoying to go up against, because you're constantly guessing where that player is. Is he sitting bottom this round? Nope, he's up top. Guess what? He's gunned me. Guess up top, he's down low this time. He's gunned me again. It can get really, really annoying. And sometimes you might even 2-stack it where you got 2 players shooting at the cross. So it's very, very tough to be able to break into that, especially with the positioning up in bedroom. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be an important spot for both teams to be playing.
I mean, we talked about snipers going into that Fisher match as well. T-Web, we were told that he's going to be the sniper of James Madison. We saw this team last week on stream play Elisilo Search and Destroy for a map 5 win against High Point. And I think T-Web was absolutely crazy in this one. He was shooting bodies. He was just pouring his passion into the game. It was a 6-1 win in that map 5, Jesse. So, yeah, I mean, I know that, you know, even though we're saying this is where UTC can, you know, maybe rein things in and pull things back, but JMU, they're a strong Search and Destroy team too, so you got to be careful not to, you know, overexert yourself a little bit if you are Mox going into the second map. And, you know, it's something we did see earlier from Farmingdale State, is that if you get a little bit too aggressive, it's definitely going to come back to bite you.
Yeah, absolutely. You just need to kind of chill it out, right? And I think my same point I made from the last series stands here. If you come into this one, you played to James Madison's kind of pacing and you just run straight at them, you're not going to find success. Mox COD needs to slow the game down. They need to bring it back to themselves. You can't just allow Prey to be constantly just popping 2 pieces on your team. Yeah. You need to be able to kind of slow it down, pick that player off, and put it into a position where at least if you go down, you have somebody right there to find a trade. We'll just have to see what they can do here. But look at that, Colin. Instantly, everybody flies forward, and right through middle of the map, Prey is watching over, and that's a first blood already going to the way of JMU.
Yeah, Prey has the TAC 56 at hand, too. He's watching to the middle of the map. Kelp down bottom bedroom. He's allowed to fly after that, and there's just no communication from Mox at all. They get picked apart. Kelp pops a 3-piece there to make that happen, too. So a little bit disjointed, a little bit all over the place. Mox, you know, they had an idea to just kind of rush A get control of bedroom if they can. You saw Red Chase was working on that, but unfortunately they got tripped up by a stun, and that just throws everything to the wayside.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate, right? And I mean, Kelp with a very good start there to the round on 3 in a row. We'll need to keep our eyes on him heading into this round here. You find 3 more. That's at the very least a cruise missile as this game goes along here, and a very different pacing to what we normally see off the rip. Normally you see teams head over towards that A side, but instantly here, JMU is going to attack over towards B.
Oh, and Prey's going to get the information of the player just outside of that side door for Wine. Nobody in B, so it should be a free bomb plant right away as they're going to get set up in the 4-corner challenge of Kitchen. Chattanooga already here for the rotation. Red Chase leading the charge. Shots to the wall is going to have information of the player in the middle, but the bomb is down and the time is crunched at the moment. You need an opening soon, and Red Chase is just flirting with T-Web in the middle. Gonna get a trade to open things up. Here comes Pixel around the back. Slim, the nice place nade. It's back and forth trades, but Prey pushes all the way through. 1 versus 2 for Pixels. Working his way through Rugs. He makes it a 1v1. 17 seconds left. Jesse's on the hunt. He has no idea where Prey is. A little bit of ring around the rosy. He's going to beat him around the back. Is there time?
Oh, they might just get there in time. Pixels, I think he picked it up in time. We'll have to wait to find out whether this bomb blows up or not, but I think you're right. I think he got it just in the nick of time.
Wow.
0.5 seconds left to spare. That's plenty of time, Colin. And he gets the job done there in the round again. And you know what? Prey popped another 2-piece in the round, but guess what? You had somebody there for the trade this time. Couldn't get all 3, and it comes away with a round win there for UTC and a big, big clutch up there from Pixels.
I mean, Prey got 3 there. Right now, Prey and Kelp are deadlifting their early rounds of this hotel search and destroy, but just, you know, you couldn't get the trades inside if you're T-Web or Poker. So Pixels, I mean, the new kid on the block for the Mox, really picking up the weight there and pulling things back for Mox, and much needed round. Not allow things to get out of hand. Red Chase just kind of bobbing and weaving on the way in. Kelp's going to get the information. Nade in the back. No, it's going to land. So a little bit of damage there, and Kelp's going to get run down. So Superior finds that opening pick, and maybe a chance for this bomb to go down. You already have all 3 players rotated.
Poker a little bit late with that trophy going down as well. At least we'll be successful in not being stunned or naded out one more time here through the back. I thought T-Web was about to find a snipe there. I saw the glint as well, Colin, but no. Finds nothing. And I mean, the bomb still has yet to go down here, so if you're JMU, you don't need to get too aggressive yet.
No, I'd like to see Pixel make a play right now. All 3 players here for James Madison, they don't know that if you're either team, but bomb's going to get planted eventually, and it's going to draw them all back. 4v3 for the retake. You still don't know where Pixels is. Watching for this flank. You're going to need an opening. Maybe Mr. 2-Piece himself can make it happen. Though Slim is barely taking damage from that side angle. T-Web still struggling to get an angle with the sniper. So 23 seconds left. They need to go pretty soon. Oh, they line up, but it doesn't land. Slim's going to find the kill. T-Web finally going to hit the shot, but now the trade game for UTC, and they take the lead.
And that's the one strong point, right? Where if you're holding the inside of the room, is you just have to snake the heck out of these counters here. If you want to be able to walk away with the round victory, they have the man advantage. They use their snaking to their advantage as well. And they completely shut down the other side from pushing in. And you know what? They're yelling, you can do it too. Right back at the James Madison players.
You really can. You really can do it too in this game. So let's see if we get JMU to pull things back and avoid being down 2 rounds to UTC after losing the 1 versus 3, it seemed like, from Pixels early on. We're going to see Mox head over to A this time for the retake. Prey already bottom bedroom, finds Superior, takes him down. It's life advantage. You know there's a player going to be top bedroom, but do you know Red chases through the middle of the map? You don't, so Kelp traded out. It's going to even things up, but you still don't know where Prey is.
And you have a lot of map control now here, too, if you're JMU. Like you said, Prey sitting underneath parking here. Red Chase is a sitting duck. Unfortunately, she picks the wrong corner first. Oh, and Prey might even be able to find a second one here onto Slim. If not, going to at least be a distraction and make this bomb defusal that much harder.
Oh, T-Web's got to be careful. He just needs to stay alive right now. They're just burning the time in the round. 22 seconds left. Prey still unchecked. T-Web with a sniper. And Prey's going to strike. He finds Slim. Pixels, 1 versus 1, 14 seconds left. You saw Pixels was able to clutch up last time, but now against Prey, can you do it again? 1 versus 1, there's no time, and Prey's going to do exactly what he needs to. Just bides his time, waits it out, chows, and even wins the gunfight, Jesse, for James Madison to even us back up.
Yeah, and if you're Prey there, as soon as you see Pixels running out of a spot, you know you've got the round 1. There's no time Pixels has to hop on that. You just need to check back to it. 3-4 seconds later, it's exactly what Prey does. Walks away with the round victory and an 8-2 start here for Prey inside of the game number 2. A nice little 2-2 start between both teams. And we've seen positives and negatives here for both teams as well, Colin. But honestly, the one thing that just keeps standing out in my mind right now when I'm looking at UTC, this is just not the same Red Chase I'm used to seeing right now.
No, it definitely has been the supporting players for Red Chase this year. And I'm picking up the slack. 1 and 4. See if he can bring this one back. See, went back to the sniper. And hand finds Slim just to nick the shoulder. And that's an opening pick for JMU to lead with lives in this round. Poker's going to double down on Pixels. And that's going to push UTC into a very struggling situation. Prey now on 5 in a row. Superior's going to get cut down. And a very strong round there from James Madison. Flawless in round 5.
A great defensive round there. Just don't really allow the likes of UTC to find any successful push through middle of the map, through the A side of the map, anywhere that they really want to go with the bomb, and just had a player ready to go from James Madison to shut it down. A great first blood through the luggage portion of the map for T-Web there. Opened up so many different routes for the JMU players, and everybody just flew forward, found their kills, and Prey now 1 kill off of finding that cruise missile.
Back over to A we go for offense here for James Madison to see if they can do what they failed at early on in round 2 and take that 2-round gap that they've been looking for. Slim's going to open up luggage doors. Superior watching the cross. Oh, he's cooking. He's cooking right now. That's a perfect nade from Superior. Love that cam from Ryan Switch as well. Free cam on Bleak. And that's bombed down, Jesse.
Yeah, and that's bombed down in a not-so-great spot as well. If you are JMU, you're trying to find another kill here to just either even the man advantage back in your favor or at least open something up towards trying to cross back and get this A bomb, because now you've got 2 players who are sitting on it. Poker shoots through the wall, able to tag up 1, but in doing so, Slim will find the kill onto T-Web. Prey, at the very least, Colin, will find that final kill to find the cruise missile here inside of the round. I doubt we see it get invested here, and this is very likely the round over, especially now with Poker going down.
Yeah, Poker gets run down with a sniper in hand, and Prey for a 1v3. What you're doing if you're a JMU fan right now, but see if he can pick up this round from where his teammates left off. He knows he has the cruise missile, so a little bit of weight off his shoulders for these challenges. 7 in a row for Prey. The sniper in the hands of Slim, and he's going to land his shot, so... You know, when Prey's still alive, I think that, you know, the chance is there, but we get to see him finally shut down. He swaps over the attack to finish it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I got a little scared there at the end of the round. I saw him shake that chow on a Slim. If he wins that one, might just have enough time to fly out and kill Red Chase middle of the map as well. But unfortunately, not able to do so. But the Prey show continues here in the game. 11-3, cruise missile in hand now as well. It is a close game. But, I mean, if anybody else on JMU really starts to pop off here with Prey, it's going to be very, very tough for UTC to combat it.
Even across the board for UTC. Red Chase just doing the dirty work. Prey close and Freezer. He's going to get spotted out. Force back into the site, and nice overwatch there from Kelp. Is going to back Prey up on the inside. Kelp finds 2, Prey the 3rd, and that is immediately shut down for the rest of Moxcott. It's Red Chase. Can he salvage this round 1 versus 4 style?
This SMG duo is just unreal, Colin. Red Chase will try to do what he can in this situation. 1v3 just barely slithers away to stay alive here. 69 HP. Will at least get the full regen, but that bomb is down in a horrible spot.
Yeah, he's got to go deep to get that bomb back. He's got dead silence, so, you know, maybe. Look how far Poker's going into the spawn of UTC. Red Chase has no information on anything.
Yeah, all 3 players are so soloed, though. So, I mean, he can take this one-on-one with Prey and still get this bomb down.
22 seconds. Here we go. Prey, bobbing, weaving, ducking, diving, dodge. He doesn't want these shots from Red Chase. Oh, jeez.
Can I take back my statement?
Oh, Prey is disgusting. It's crazy watching him play.
This is just I'd be absolutely tilted right now having to fight against Prey. Not only the shot that Prey has, but also just bobbing and weaving up and down and just not giving an inch to the likes of Red Chase there, and JMU will walk away with another round victory. And honestly, right now with the way this game is going, Prey's got a chance to hit 20.
I would be frustrated if in that situation. Pushing through kitchen, but hey, that's why I'm not the one playing here, Jesse. D-Web with the sniper back in hand. Doors open. Oh, Slim's gonna ring one off, though, just barely missing T-Web. Repositioning to top patio. All quiet here in hotel as each team just fishing for an opening pick as things are neck and neck throughout this search and destroy. Only a one-round difference. As Slim, he's repositioned top bedroom. He's got the smallest angle. Oh, and he just barely misses. The shot goes in for a second one. Luckily, Red Chase finds that bomb down, so it puts UTC in a very good spot.
But of course, it's Prey to find another kill here. Even the man advantage back out. And in all honesty, if you're Prey here, I think you could drop the cruise if you wanted to. And it will at least open up a little bit of the map here for your team to maybe get this bomb down.
Slim's back in luggage and with a vengeance against Poker. He's going to take him down. Prey still shutting down these players around the map, but Red Chase, he's on his way through. He's going to line up T-Web and put Prey into a 1 versus 2 situation. 17 seconds left, Jesse, and he does have bombs, so he can make his way over. Just, he's going to be making a lot of noise without dead silence. Yeah. I'm not sure if these players heard it.
I was shocked there. I was like, oh, he's got to have dead silence popped right now, because I thought for sure Slim was going to hear him cross there, but no, nothing. He doesn't hear it at all, and now, I mean, you got to imagine you have a little bit of an advantage here for Prey, especially if you can catch Slim off on the cross and might actually be able to spot both players crossing now.
Red Chase, they have no idea. Prey's playing this so well.
He's
sneaking in the back. They're both going to be lined up, but first one's going to be Red Chase biding his time for the opportunity. Shaky shots, and I think he waited a little bit too long, Jesse. A little bit too long on that first kill. Slim was able to get to that trade immediately as soon as Red Chase got into the site.
Tried to be a little bit too perfect with it, right? I mean, if you even just find Red Chase there and are able to back up and reposition, maybe even go backdoor, you're in a much better spot there. But Red Chase goes down, able to stay alive just long enough. Maybe hit a little bit of a weird movement there when sliding into the zone or into the site to try to find a corner that he thought maybe Prey was playing in. And it just works out very unfortunately for Prey there. Misses a few shots, gives Slim the perfect opportunity to clutch the round up and win another one there for UTC. UTC is hanging on in this game, even though I feel like JMU has had a lot of control throughout this map.
I mean, you can't teach some of the ice that I've been seeing from Mox right now. Pixels in the 1 versus 3 earlier. And Red Chase and Slim right there shutting down Prey and what could have been map point. Now going into it, this is the swing rounds. Who's going to hit map point first? UTC haven't had the best offensive attacks in the past, but I like this call. They're just kind of teasing this B site, see if they can draw the attention back over. And look for the opening pick. It's going to be Prey to strike. Nobody goes down.
And it looks like it's worked out perfectly. Make a lot of noise over towards the restaurant. But let's slowly move this bomb up towards A. And if Superior can get across here after getting this bomb down, they could be in a really good spot to win this round. And Prey does.
No dead silence, though, so no way he's going to be able to make the full wrap around. But there's a player all the way in the back spawn for JMU. That's Pixels, and he's going to find the cross onto Cal. Prey slowly working his way into the site. Do they know that Superior is going to be pushed up into this position right behind the door? They have no idea where these players are, and Slim's going to take down Poker. So numbers in favor of Mox, looking for map point. He's going to find a second one to Prey, shutting down the big hitter. That might be the nail in the coffin for the round. They clear T-Web, and they clear the round. 5 on the board for UTC. Map point.
And that's just great teamwork out of UTC. They throw the bluff over towards the kitchen side of the map. They put a bunch of stuns down, a bunch of nades down, make a ton of noise inside a restaurant. And you know what? all kudos to them because James Madison completely fell for the trap. Everybody kind of wraps over. The closest player you had towards A was in the middle of the map, and as soon as that bomb goes down, and like I said, you get that player to run across A and get onto the steps, that round is pretty much over once you get a player top bedroom.
And now this is if Mox can rein this game back in, rein this series in, Jesse, to a 1-1 tie, force that map for Hydro Prey. They're calling that clear cruise missile. Look for the information, force these players inside. We're going back to A. The bomb's going here. 2 players going to be stacked in bedroom. Superior down low, Slim up top.
Oh, and Slim's got a sniper again, so he's going to get this information immediately. No, gets the hit marker there. In that situation, needs to chuck the nade away. Oh, I thought he killed himself with the nade. I was about to lose it.
He did. That was the nade, Jesse. That was the nade. Kelp's going to get this bomb down as all up to Superior. Round on his shoulders, and now there's a couple of bullets. 2 versus 4. Forcing the round 11 is what James Madison needs to do, and it looks like it's on their docket right now. Got the full setup for the post plants, and it's going to have to be one of the best retakes I've ever seen from UTC ever. Red Chase is giving it away, though, that the flank is going to come through with a couple of shots a little bit too early. Pixel's going to fall, and that's going to be now looking like the round pretty soon. 20 seconds for a 1 versus 4. And nobody's giving him anything, Jesse. We're going around 11.
Oh, man, and Slim is punching the air right now. Slim gets that first pick with the sniper instead of a hit marker. This round plays completely differently. But unfortunately for Slim, they try to throw the nade through the little crack. The door closes, and unfortunately just had nowhere to go with the nade. Throws it away, ends up hitting themselves with it, and ends up falling. And here we go, Colin. What really could have been a map win for UTC has now gone 5-5, and they have to play offense here in the final round. James Madison gets the defense.
Round 11, Jesse. You love to see it already. Our second match has not disappointed so far here in College COD. Neck and neck are these two teams as Mox just fighting for their lives right now, and Slim still with the sniper in hand. Let's see if he can find the kill this time. We look at the positioning of JMU, and player playing bottom bedroom, player playing back luggage.
I think it could be a very similar play to what we saw in the last round, where they try to make a lot of noise over towards the site, but have the bomb rotate over towards the other site here. But unfortunately, doesn't look like the bait will be caught out. JMU not going to fall for it twice. UTC realizes that, and now they're going to start to move this bomb back over towards A. And it looks like if you're Red Chase, you're trying to move this bomb up and get it down now. But no, T-Web will find the first and pick that player off.
Bomb goes down too, so now it's up to the team to make the work happen, and Superior slips the line. Superior finds 2. Gelp 1v3. It's gonna bring things a little bit back now, but bomb goes down, so 43 seconds for the clutch. Gelp versus the world, 1 versus 1. He takes down Superior, but does he know Slim's made his way all the way down into the luggage? This is for the map. This is for the 2-map lead. But for Mox, this is everything into the game, and Kelp is reading this correctly. He's just not going to go deep enough. There's 22 seconds, and both players are just on opposite sides right now of the walls. Kelp looking for any information he can, but he's just not getting it. 15 seconds now on the clock, and Slim's all the way deep into bottom bedroom. He's going to spot the player. He's going to spot his legs, and he gives it away, and Slim hits the shot. It's all Superior to open the door, but it's closed to the books by Slim and his sniper rifle. 6-5, round 11. Chattanooga, tie us up.
Yeah, Superior 100% wins that round out there. They wrap through middle of the map, find the 2-piece underneath garage on the rotation over. And it is just perfectly timed. Superior, you may have gone 6 and 10 on the map, but you find the 2 most influential kills in that round 11 to close out the map, close out the game, and tie our series up at 1-1 here. Colin, I was kind of worried we were going to have 3-0s across the board today, but you know what? We're at least getting a game 4 here.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are completely neck and neck, Jesse. You got the number 17 and the number 22 in the power rankings, and you can see just how close-knit these top 25 teams really are when it comes into comparison to one another, Jesse. You know, it just it makes me respect what you do for the community yourself. Yeah, I can only imagine
it's hard, man.
How hard it is to pick these teams.
Dude, they told me to come out with a top 25 week 1, and I looked at Brogan and I was like, "Excuse me, you want me to do what with these 42? I think it's 48 teams in our Div 1. I mean, it is not easy at all to come up with a top 25 here between these, and I mean, you're seeing exactly why here. Like, whoever wins this match, how are you going to look at them and be like, oh yeah, this team is just hands in hands better than the other team? Because both these teams seem, like you said, just so neck and neck right now that a top 25 is just so tough to be able to determine.
It comes down to an overextension from Superior to find 2 players rotating bottom patio. I mean, that is like literally a 50-50 moment in its own for this round. I mean, this map literally could have been anything between those two. I feel a little bit for Prey. I mean, 17-7 is...
It slowed down a lot, though, in the last couple rounds there. Prey was kind of a non-factor in the last round. It's hard to say that with somebody who dropped 17 in the game, but had 17 at this or 16 at this point in the game when it was 4-4, and only finished 1 kill in the last 3 rounds. That has to be said.
I mean, I think that's more so due to UTC, the way that they were playing it. I mean, their game strategy towards the end on their offenses, you had back-to-back offenses where they were baiting, calling a bluff towards one of the sites, and then rotating back towards that bomb site. It didn't work the second time like it did the first time, but it set up Superior for that play in round 11.
Yeah, and you're absolutely correct, right? I mean, if you slow the game down enough, you're going to be able to find success here in the round. Somebody from JMU is going to get a little bit more aggressive and make that over challenge. And you know what, UTC, they took them a while, but they did exactly what I said they needed to do inside of that game. They slowed their pace down. They found success playing off their own strategies there in that round. And only one player on the team goes positive in that game, and it ends up being Slim at 10-7.
Yeah.
But they walk away with a 6-5 victory, and that is just honestly incredible to say the least.
One of those deaths, too, being a team or a self-nade for himself, not to mention. I mean, I would have been heartbroken for Slim if he, hit markers into a self-nade to lose the map. I mean, that would have been a heartbreaker for Mox. But they salvage it. Round 11, they make it happen, and they tie us up 1 apiece in this series. I mean, we got to talk about Prey, 17-7, but at the same time, when we talk about it, you said it. You said it perfectly. He slowed down towards those last 4 rounds that we did see, and a couple teammates maybe on JMU not having the best search and destroy that you could have asked for from the supporting side. I mean, it starts off with Kelp finding 3 kills in round number 1, but I think he found maybe I wasn't looking at his numbers, but I think maybe like 3 more kills after that was done.
Yeah.
Just throughout the rest of the game. So it was a tough search and destroy there for the side of James Madison University, but it sets us up, Jesse, for a really good series here between both of these teams. We got a confirmed map number 4 as we go down the line, but we get the swing map mode combo of a control coming up next. So, folks, we're going to cut to a quick break. We're going to set things up, and we'll be right back with some more College COD. Welcome back, everybody, to College COD week number 3. We're between James Madison University and the University of Tennessee in Chattanooga, as we're tied 1 apiece after a banger. Map number 2, Jesse, all the way to a round 11 search and destroy. We're heading to our swing map mode combo. We got Control and we have El Asilo. So if we take a look at our maps and modes, we can break things down. We're guaranteed a map 4. We're guaranteed the Hydro hard point when we get there. But who's going to take this map? Who's going to take the lead?
And 2 very different stories when you look at this LSU Control as well. I mean, you've got James Madison, who has played this map a lot in Control. They're 1-2, but then you look across the board at UTC, yet to play LSU Control inside of the CCL yet here. So could be interesting, right? It could be one of those situations for UTC where you don't have the reps, you end up falling apart with it. Or, you look at JMU, who has only gotten 1 win with 2 losses on this map, and you can think as well, hey, they might not be the best at this map. Maybe UTC might be able to take advantage of their situation. We'll just have to kind of wait and see to find out. But all I can say, Colin, is my main talking point right now looking at this series through the first half is I feel like JMU is going to win and die off of Prey's performance here, because map number 1 absolutely popped off. Map number 2, for the most part, popped off, but towards the tail end ends up falling apart, and UTC takes the map.
I would 100% be on board with you, Jesse, if he didn't just go 17-7 for the loss in map number 2. I mean, there's still some things that you need out of your supporting cast if you want to take some map wins. And in that Search and Destroy, you didn't have that. Throughout the later ends, I mean, you start to see Prey slow down, and once Prey slows down, it's who's going to step up. That's the big question mark right now. That's the X factor for James Madison, whereas, you know, for Chattanooga, for the Mocs, I've been thoroughly impressed across the board with all players. I mean, Red Chase, he did have a slow start to the series, but halfway through that Search and Destroy, he activated. He came online, and they finished very strong towards the end, especially, you know, considering 3 out of the 4 players went negative for that map win in map 2.
Yeah, and it's funny too, right? Because it kind of felt like with UTC in that map, it was like, okay, all the supporting cast, you know what, they're going to step up. JMU, all the supporting cast kind of stepped down towards the later portions of that game, right? And I mean, the one that you really have to look at is Superior in that round 11. I mean, the guy was 4-10 up to that point and finds 2 kills, the most 2 influential kills in the game to close that map out for the likes of UTC. It's just who's going to step up at the right time between these two teams on who are not going to be able to walk away with the victory. But we'll just have to find out here. LSEL control starts now, and it's going to be JMU finding first blood through the top side of the map, and everybody now trying to work their way over towards A on offense.
They take control of radio, but while they do that, Mocs take control of billiards. So it's kind of 1-for-1 trades going through from both sides. It's 28-26 off the break with lives. And although you get radio control, you haven't really made your way throughout this map in any way. And Red Chase is on 3 in a row after he clears out radio. So I think James Madison, they need to start looking at these players and clearing out their spawn, which they finally do.
Yeah, they do finally clear out their spawn, like you said. But here's the thing, though. You kind of have a split push coming in here. You've got players 3 and 4 who are playing over towards this A zone. Tick does not come through, by the way. Kelp gets contested here by Red Chase. Will get challenged in from the back. Oh. Big one-on-one victory there for Kelp, but unfortunately not able to walk away with anything more than 3/4 of a tick through. But now the rest of JMU, they're going to rotate their way over towards B. They're going to get on, and T-Web's actually in the back line here. He's in a really good spot to shut down any rotation from UTC over towards the zone.
That first tick's going to be locked in towards B, so big kill is going to be here on Pixels versus T-Web. If he can find this kill, he will completely open up the floodgates for the retake in the B zone. However, traded out, it's even on the inside. Superior shut down low towards that bench, or that top office window. Prey is going to clear that B zone, pick up the extra minute of time. That's the hard part over for James Madison with a, I guess, uncharacteristic setup from UTC to leave that B zone open.
And just way too long to go for the retake there from UTC as well. Now going to have to rely on a very good A hold here to close the map out. The problem, though, is you've got everybody on JMU starting to surround you. You lose the gunfight top antenna. It's really going to be up to Red Chase to play in towards checkers, in towards billiards, to really hold on to the zone if they want to be able to walk away there, because now you've got 2 players from JMU on the point.
Yeah, the first one's going to be cleaned up in arches, well-placed shots, and attention from Pixels to clear out boxes. And step 1 of many going to be finished for UTC inside of this defensive round. Though, still JMU off spawn, finding the necessary kills to get back into the zone. Stop the clock at 1 minute on the clock. It's not going to be for long as Kelp does get cleaned up. Now it's going to be up to Prey on the outside. Wavy shots and a little bit windy, but he's going to find that kill into Red Chase. Now down to 50 seconds, Jesse.
And now Kelp trying to push their way forward here through middle of the map. What they want to do is they want to try to push through middle, circulate around so they can shut down any of the players on UTC that are making their push through, and it will also force the spawn out towards the B zone as well. But so far, it is not working at all here. UTC, they put all their eggs in one basket. They said, hey, you know what? Let's defend this B zone with all our might. It was working really, really well, but 3 go down, a 2-piece from Prey, and that just opened up everything on the bottom side of the map here for JMU to get on the point.
I mean, they've continuously held control of radio, but it's in the fights inside the zone that have been struggling for JMU. Finally, finally Prey's going to find the 2 that opens things up, and you have T-Web watching like a hawk from above. Now on the inside of the site, though, Red Chase shuts him down. Now looking to stay alive for his team while the rotations come up spawn. Red Chase going to get cleaned up, and here comes the rest to help him out. Slim looking for another 2-piece. He gets it done. 16 seconds left. It's a 3v4.
Red Chase does just enough there to give the rest of UTC enough time to get back off spawn, to get back towards the point. And I'm not sure if JMU is going to have enough time to be able to touch the point here. 2v3. They can definitely still play this, and a big kill on a Superior. You got to touch the point, though.
0.9 seconds. They cannot afford to die, and they do. So UTC, I mean, backed against the ropes. A lot of damage done in that round, but a round win nonetheless, Jesse, as they go up 1-0 here at LSE low control. It's just at what cost?
I mean, at the cost of winning the round, right? At least you'll win the round. That's what matters. You give up 5 ticks. It does not matter. You won the round. At least you walk away with that there if you are the likes of Moxcott, and that's a good start. It's exactly what you need off the rip here. And now if you're JMU, I mean, you got to answer back with a defensive round win of your own. And defensive round wins are not the easiest on this map. I mean, it's, I'd say, more defensive favored than offensive for sure, but you can definitely still walk away with an offensive round or two inside of LSE control every once in a while.
Early Suns into Villiers is going to catch a few of those players. Pixel making a lot of noise, but they don't know Prey is here. Mid control for UTC, but they have to be aware of these players are on the outside, and Slim checks it. Prey gets shut down, and that's going to open up a couple of these lanes, Jesse. Another one from Superior or Thought. Nice shots from Kelp. Is 3 in a row for JMU, and Kelp immediately going to make a dash towards green. Unfortunately, getting some bad timing versus Pixels.
It looks like everybody on UTC is going to be electing to head over towards this B zone as well. It's exactly what we saw here from JMU inside of their offense. When they all pushed through field, they got into the position if they needed to on the offensive side of the map to shut them down. Well, this time through, though, JMU, they're going to start to rotate their way back through. They at least get a few kills, though, and this should honestly shut this whole push down here from UTC. You've only got one player left here in the back line, and it's Superior.
Yeah, enough attention onto Prey, and that allows for the players from JMU off spawn to get back into patio and clear those players out. Only giving up 1 tick over towards B. 31 seconds, Jesse. Lies even. Just getting into these sites. And Pixel really paved the way into the last go round, but this time on the inside of this A zone, it's been nothing but James Madison as they're looking to completely shut down Mox in this round number 2. Bounce back to an even playing field here in LSE and see if they can take their advantage through the series, only giving up a couple of ticks. Red Chase is going to get onto B for the last couple of seconds. Second tick being worked on just yet, interrupted by Kelp & Co. as they get in. Poker funds too, and that might just be the round.
Very, very likely could be, but Pixels pops too, though. Needs to be aware that Poker's in the back. Poker will find the trade, but with finding 2, does at least open up enough time now for UTC to get onto A. They get their first tick of progress through A complete, and now with the stack, they might even be able to get more.
And flabbergasted at what Pixels just did. It hasn't amounted to anything. Mox, they had a chance. They had an opportunity there to make something out of nothing, and James Madison with limited time, they make everything perfect for the retake, and they take it one step at a time, clearing out those players. Over towards B, wonderful from Poker, just to lurk long enough to clear out Pixels. They notice off spawn. They're ping-ponging back over to A, and with the remaining players from James Madison, they didn't move back over to B. They let Poker cook at B. Well, the rest of them set up for those players from Mox getting into that A zone.
T-Web and Poker are popping off right now this map. 17-9 from T-Web, 13-7 from Poker. And it was Prey who was playing so well through maps 1 and 2. Not really having the same standout performance, but you're getting a good performance from the rest of the cast here from JMU. And if you know what, if you're taking count at home of what the ticks are right now, it's a 5-2 lead here for JMU. So only needing a few more ticks here to actually secure a final defense for themselves here in round 3 already.
And LSE, I mean, this is what I was a little bit worried for James Madison after watching that map too, Jesse, is how the AR players are going to, perform. But T-Web, he has completely shut down any speculation of doubt in my mind, as he's 20-9 going into round number 3. So big performance from the ARs of James Madison. You just haven't been able to replicate that if you're Mox. I'm looking at Superior, who's only 6-16.
They've only got one player on the point as well, so they might not be able to finish this one off, although kills all going in the favor of JMU. And now 2 rounds in a row, they're going to get the B zone first and have to transition over towards A, but this time through, they do have a streak to work with.
Prey just waiting for the right timing to strike on the flank. Here it is. He's going to make some noise. Pull the attention. Nobody's going to be biting, though, just yet, as Slim's going to win a big fight on the inside of this A-zone. Kelp stops the clock and gives himself away, but trades yet again. Slim clears him through. Prey, the only one pushed up, but just continuing to just hold this time in their favor as T-Web comes to the rescue. They're going to find another 2 down. So first tick in A is going to be secured. Looking for round number 2 is JMU. Here comes Superior on the flank, but he doesn't know where to look, and Kelp's going to shut him down, looking from behind. Second tick being worked on Jesse, and this is going slowly but surely to the way of James Madison. You're going to need a big play from Slim right now, or else this might be round over, and an offensive round picked up for James Madison. Slim's going to find 1, Pixels a second. Here comes Superior's 3 down. Last one standing on the inside. It's going to be Poker for 2. Continuing to hold this zone as best as he can.
Now Poker, one-on-one with Red Chase, will win the gunfight out. And with the 2-stack coming through, they should finish the point before anybody on UTC can get through. And that's it. JMU walking away with round number 3, taking in offense here, and now just need to go one more defense to close the game out in full against the likes of UTC. Wow, Poker's having a great map right now. And I mean, Colin, I really don't know if you're UTC here, how you're going to shut down JMU when all 4 players are firing like this right now.
Yeah, this is that consistency that we didn't see in map number 2, but we saw firsthand in map 1 back on Embassy. All 4 players working together. Mox, they struggled in the respawns, and they're showing that is not going to waver inside of this map, and you want to make sure you get this control. Just looking at that Hydro hardpoint next, you do not want to be on map point against you.
It's an early push over to B if you're UTC, but only finding half a tick of progression before getting kind of bullied off the point. Not really losing a whole lot of people, but just giving it up to find some more positioning here if you're UTC. You will at least secure the first tick of progression. Poker's going to invest the glide bomb here. Will find one onto Red Chase, and that opens up just enough now for JMU to push the rest of the players forward.
Looks like everybody's figured out the tricks towards B. Just land that cruise missile on top of the trucks, and it's going to beat out the trophy systems 9 times out of 10. So to A we go. Ping-ponging yet again. It's going to be UTC. Unfortunately for them, they immediately get wiped, and Slim nowhere to be found. Still lurking over towards green. At least going to pull one back with a kill, but they need a little more to light the way for his team.
And everybody on UTC trying to fly forward inside of this building. Superior with 2 HP. Tries to win the gunfight. Can't win it out. And that's another 3 dead here for the likes of JMU. The only player anywhere near the hill is Slim. Slim goes down. All 4 fall for UTC. And everybody coming off spawn. Everybody rotating over towards A. And it is just JMU picking them apart piece by piece right now. You really can't do anything if you're UTC at the moment.
I mean, Mox, they're disjointed. They're distracted. They are staggered on every front. With 11 seconds left, they cannot afford to make any more mistakes. Red Chase is going to pull a little bit of the tension back over to A, as that's 2 down, a trade, but a 2 for 1. You'll take that all day if you're UTC now looking to progress this game. See if you can send this to round number 5. This is your last chance right here. Working on the last stick towards A, though. Here comes the nades, the shots, and the kills for JMU. So James Madison, they make it look clean. They make it look good, and Alasilo control it. It hasn't been a stranger to this team. They're just showing how good they are in these respawns, Jesse. A very clean round number 4 for James Madison to take the lead in this series.
I mean, just a full team performance there from James Madison. Prey was negative through the first 2 rounds. Finished as 24 and 18. Everybody just kind of pops off at the right times here for this team to find success here. And I think that everybody, yeah, absolutely everybody in the rounds finishes positive throughout the game. T-Web 30 and 17, 24 and 18 there as well from Kelp. And I mean, a really, really great game from JMU. You get a full effort from all 4 players. And when they're firing like that, I don't think many teams in this division are going to be able to go toe-to-toe with them, let alone UTC.
I mean, there's a reason why this team is 5-0, Jesse. I mean, we cannot overstate the fact that they have yet to drop a series in their division over the Southeast, and it's because of performances like that. You know, map number 2, yes, we didn't get to see all, 4 players really show up and, back up that 17-7 performance we got out of Prey, but in their respawns, they look unbreakable in some of their setups. We saw in towards that last defense. I mean, full control of the inside of El Asilo, and once they have that building control, there's not really much Mox can do to get into each of these zones, let alone find the, I guess, the kills necessary.
Yeah, it's really tough, right? And JMU, their offenses were really interesting as well, because on offense, they really focused on going towards that B zone early, getting the player up in the top portion of the map just to really be an annoyance up on the hills to shut down the players from UTC as they were coming off spawn, and it worked really well to get that B zone. But then going over towards A, they struggled the first round, not the second round though. The second round, it was just too much lane prowess on fire from the side of JMU to really be shut down there. And as soon as they got that second tick and were able to kind of get some progress onto the A zone, there was really nothing that UTC could do to finish shutting that down.
And it has me a little bit worried going into the rest of the series, because the ARs are going to play a big part coming up into the Hydro hardpoint. And if you're struggling in an El Asilo control to play your part, it's not going to get easier from here on out. So, I mean, James Madison, they looked good in that control. And it's easy, to just look at this team and, I guess, talk about T-Web. 30-17 at the end of the game. Not too bad of a performance from your AR there. I mean, when you have T-Web playing like that, I mean, there's not many mistakes you can make.
And I have a feeling, too, that we're going to end up seeing Brave pulling out an AR here on this next map. I mean, we saw him flexing a little bit in the Search and Destroy. I have a feeling that once we get into this next map, you need some of those long-range lines of sights chopped down. I think that we'll see Prey with an AR in his hand here. But, yeah, JMU, I think they're going to be tough to beat inside of this respawn. When you look at the overall map count, too, for these two teams, Hydro, UTC, 0-1 on Hydro Hardpoint, 2-0 for the side of JMU. Yeah. A lot of practice here for JMU on this map, and this is one of their better hardpoint maps as well. So if you're UTC, I think you're climbing an uphill battle here if you want to walk away with the victory.
And kind of shaping up for that. I mean, you look at Kelp, 22-20 inside of this control, 18-25 in map 1 on our hard point. That was back on Embassies. So Kelp starting to heat up is something you like to see working alongside Prey. You're taking a little bit of the weight off the shoulders to have that pop-off potential if you are Prey. And, working together with those two, we saw them really leading the charge throughout that El Asilo control to allow Poker and T-Web into those dominant positions for those ARs. But let's take a look back at our series layout, because heading into Hydro Hardpoint for Mark Scott, I mean, this is the hard part for your team. You are now 2-5 in hard points across the College COD, and you're going to need to win this one out just to send us to that El Asilo Search and Destroy all the way down into that Game 5 factor. And you're going to need some players to really play a big part into that one. I think you and I, Jesse, could agree right off the bat that if they want to win this Hydro Hardpoint, we need to see Red Chase back into Red Chase.
Playoff Red Chase. That's what we need. If we're going to see the likes of UTC walking away with the victory here. But, I mean, Red Chase did look a lot better in the last two maps, I will say. He looked slow in map 1. Started slow in map number 2, really started to pick it up towards the end, but honestly kept his own inside of that map number 3. Unfortunately, not able to walk away with the victory there, but, starting to build it up. So heading towards Hydro, might be able to find some success here. The only thing that worries me is Hydro is such a heavy assault rifle map that I honestly don't know if the ARs on the side of UTC are going to open up enough room for the likes of Red Chase to really be able to push up and find the lanes that they need to be able to push into these zones, to be able to find the success with the submachine gun. We'll just have to wait and see if they can. But JMU, I think that all signs are leading to a JMU victory here. But if UCC can pull it off, you never know. That S&D could weigh over the back of JMU, and just the fact of the way that they lost the first one.
I mean, they have already been playing strong in their division. In the Southeast Division, it hasn't been, I guess, what I would consider, the division of death. In College COD, I'd leave that more towards the western side of things when it comes to the CCL. But even still, the Southeast, it's going to have some challenges. If you're James Madison University, you still got to play Mars Hill Esports at some point, another team that's 5-0, alongside the University of North America Dragons. So when you get yourself along to those matchups, those are going to be your two heavy hitters inside of the Southeast Division. And showing up against University of Chattanooga and looking this good in your respawns, it's putting a little bit of confidence in your mind that you can upset some of those teams. I think Marseille Esports is one of, those top 25 teams that we're looking at to really be a dark horse throughout this season and upset some of the likes of, Oklahoma Christian or even what we saw last game, Fisher College. If they can, shut down Marseille Esports in the Southeast Division, that's really going to solidify James Madison as a top dog inside the Southeast.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that all three of those teams are going to be really, really tough for JMU to be able to take on at some point here throughout the Eastern divisions. But, I mean, you know what, JMU, like you said, definitely have every kind of ability to be able to do so, especially if they're playing like we saw in that last map, all systems firing, everybody on the same page, everybody pushing together, playing together, just doing exactly what they need to do to be able to find the victories. Do I think that they're going to be able to go up against some of those teams toe-to-toe? Right now, I'm not there yet, I don't think. I think we need to kind of see them against one of those top teams first before I can fully kind of sit here and back them and be like, yeah, JMU's the real deal. They're going to be a top 10 team for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? But right now, they're showing all promising signs of being able to be a successful team and being able to find a decent amount of success here in the CCL. So we'll just have to see what they can do. But it's not going to be an easy road for them with this division, like you said.
No, and I mean, luckily for us, Jesse, JMU, they play Marseille next week, so I can't wait to see that match. We got to get through this one before we start talking about that one, because UTC, I mean, it's not like we're just counting them out just yet. It's tough. I mean, this JMU roster has showed so much promise throughout the College COD for the 2023 season, but it doesn't mean that the Mocs haven't showed promise either. I mean, this is a team that's been throughout College COD for the past couple of years and has showed they have what it takes to, fight in their division against the top. It's just right now, it hasn't looked like the same Mocs COD as it has in the past, and I need to see some of those puzzle pieces fall into place for them to take down JMU tonight, and it has to start in their hard points. 2-5, it's not a good look in this record. Winning this Hydro hardpoint, it might just be able to turn things around going into that LSC low search and destroy, Jesse.
Absolutely agree. And I think it starts with Red Chase. We need, like you said, we need to see playoff Red Chase coming out in full form here. And in all honesty, the supporting cast today has been quite good on the side of UTC. It's really been Red Chase, who has been kind of the underperformer here today. Need to see a pop-off performance here, but this is not a great start. Right off the rip, you're going to see 3 go down for the favor of JMU, and it's going to be Slim trying to just swim their way around, trying to flip these spawns out, maybe if they can find a way, because we all know on Hydro, if you're not swimming, you're not winning.
I was just about to say the exact same thing, Jesse. There's a good time from James Madison right off the bat, and they have that player top dome watching over Prey, so finally getting it cleaned up on the inside from Red Chase. Slim opens up that opportunity, but now the hard part into the map is flipping these spawns to P2. Starting with dome control is exactly what you like to see if you're Slim, but he takes his attention away from just for a split second and shut down by who else other than Prey.
You can see JMU with only 5 seconds left on the hill putting full focus on just pushing back towards Old here. And JMU, luckily, with having the back positioning, will at least get one of their 2 players that coming off spawn to spawn back on top of them. But this is not over yet. The rest of the players from Chattanooga all pushing in from the dome side of the map, trying to see if they can find a break.
Shout out to T-Web for that spot. I'm going to steal that for my rank play matches. 31-15 for the opening here in P2. You have a player who swam all the way in the back. It's Red Chase, unchecked for the moment, but T-Web is going to shut him down 4 in a row before dropping. And you're looking at Pixels, who finds the opener to the hill. Fortunately superior. Team nade into it, and that's going to continue this progression for James Madison. There was a moment of opportunity shut down there for Mocs.
Yeah, completely shut down. Now, if you're Mocs, this is where you need to answer back with a big hold of your own. What a nade from Prey up through top window. Hits Red Chase. Can't get the jump through, though. But will win a massive gunfight on the top. Prey inside of Hardpoint, man. This guy is just unreal.
Already a cruise missile. We're only into the 3rd hill of it. Breaking cameras on the Slim. That's 7 in a row as Prey just looks unstoppable throughout this series. Back into Prey form. He's got 8 in a row now, 10-2 throughout map number 4. And he is not done just yet. He's going to hop into the hill for a moment, pulling these players a little bit back. Upstairs he goes, just ring around the rosy. We're watching Prey until the very end of it. 9 in a row. Can he get number 10? Hunting down these players left, right, and center. He just doesn't know where to look. It's now Kelp's turn to the inside to pick up where he left off. Unfortunately, though, he's going to drop. And that's going to give a moment here for Mocs COD to start collecting a little bit of time.
Well, I thought for a second there, Prey was about to just go on a run and a half, but no, not able to find anything after 10. The rest of the players here from UTC going to come off spawn, try to funnel their way through. The reason they spawn up on the left is because everybody else on JMU has put full focus on that P4. They're all flying through the top side of the map to try to get this back spawn here, but they don't realize Pixel's in the back, being very quiet, able to find one, and actually going to spawn the rest of the team on top of them.
Pixel's going big for the rest of the team, but can they find the kills necessary? They don't account for T-Web, and T-Web is on 7 as well. Another cruise missile for James Madison on Hydro. Just goes to show why this team is 2-0 on this map. You got Prey and T-Web to worry about. And right now, James Madison are not worrying about anything at all. Another 3 dead for UTC. That's a full 4 wipe for T-Web. Now 10 in a row, Jesse.
Yeah, and I thought that Prey was going to need to use an AR here to find success on this map, but no, doing it with the Vaznev as well in hand, then 9K just doing wonders here. And this is 2 separate players now calling throughout this map that have gone on a 10 spree. T-Web and Prey throughout this game. 16-2, 13-4. You are not going to win maps when you are letting 2 players individually take over like this.
The confidence is just oozing from this team, Jesse. I can feel it.
Another break
surging through my veins right now. Another break on the rotation over towards P5, and this is a little bit troublesome to watch because back on Embassy Hardpoint, it was always UTC first to rotate, and then JMU for the break. So now that JMU is going to be the first to rotate to P5, does UTC have what it takes to break this? Looking at Red Chase, going to sneak his way into server room, and he's going to get the break through the side door. Has to find Prey as well, and there you have it, 3 down. Here's your chance.
Oh, man. Red Chase needs to hold on like crazy right now. They need every point they can get just to make this first set of hills look respectable here for the likes of UTC, because right now it has not been close at all. Red Chase will get challenged one more time, and no, can't beat out Prey. Luckily Superior there for the trade. Remaining 12 seconds should go to the way of UTC here, and the rotation as well right now, looking like UTC should be in control of it.
Is finally seeing, Moxcod stabilize here in map number 4 is, maybe something to look at going into the second set of rotations, but you have to get through Prey still, and T-Web is just making sure that Prey has all avenue into the site. He's going to get the break back into the hill, and now looking for the flip. Slim up top, he doesn't know what's about to hit him. Newsflash, it's Prey. Oh, Red Chase going to invest a cruise missile. I didn't see him get the streak, Jesse, but that allows Mox back into it. It's just they don't shut down Kelp, and that streak mounts to nothing.
I mean, you get the 2 that you needed to open up the hill, right? I think that's all you were really hoping for there, but unfortunately, like you said, that's all you're going to get from it. And then you get Kelp popping 2 on the other side, not going to help one little bit there. It's going to be T-Web sitting top dome, trying to shut this player down. I believe it's Superior that was on the other side trying to be annoying, but knocked down here by Prey coming off spawn. And now the rest of JMU once again going towards P2, the full setup here, and Prey's going to drop a streak and get full information on where the rest of the players on Chattanooga are going to be respawning.
I mean, Jesse, this is the P2 rotation, so I just want you to take a step back and look at the scoreboard for James Madison. T-Web, 21-7. Prey, 23-9. Kelp and Poker have 9 kills each. They have less kills than either one of those players individually together. And that just goes to show, I mean, right now, they don't need to do anything more than what they have now. It's 200-56 and counting. I mean, this is a clinic on Hydro. They are flowing like the water on the map.
JMU, I mean, this is just an unreal performance inside of this game number 4. Like you said, going to continue to rack this time up here. And what, they should be right around 225 at the end of this hill. And you can see the rest of the players now on JMU going to start to make the rotation through the bottom side of the map. Again, it's Prey and Kelp, the submachine gun duo, making their way through the back. They can find a few kills here. They can absolutely disrupt the setup here from UTC. Superior will get the first.
Yeah, but Superior is not done yet. He's not going to account for Kelp. That's the break into the back and the spawns for James Madison. 3 players going to be in the back now. It's the split spawn from both teams. Red Chase takes a dip outside, but it's not going to matter. Prey cuts corners, he slips back, and he takes him down. Now Superior, his chance for the spotlight. T-Web gonna invest the streak, not gonna find anything. It gives, though, a chance for his teammates to get into the mix, and he does. Poker still finding some kills for the team. 75 to 231. There's no room for error, Jesse, and Red Chase heats up.
Red Chase is doing everything they can right now to try to stay inside of this game. We'll get around the wall, too. Pops the Deddy. Gonna try to force their way through the water now to flip these spawns. At this one-on-one between player 1 and player 7 is really going to be everything in terms of deciding who wins this game.
Red Chase, he doesn't get the good timing. Poker's still alive. Pixels, I'm not sure if he's going to get there in time. There's only 18 seconds that you can allow, and the respawners for James Madison going to set up JMU for success to finish this series off. Luckily for Pixels, he has a little bit of help, and the kills go the way of Mox now. Red Chase playing the front line. He's going to cut these rotations off towards Broken, 4 in a row for himself, putting a clinic on to try to keep his team in it. 105 to 234. A comeback like this, it is unheard of, Jesse. But it would be one that I am well open to welcoming into this one. Unfortunately, though, T-Web, he's going to open up with a 2-piece. He's got backup Pokers here. They clear the rest off, and this might be it. Only one close enough is going to be Slim, and he has to make a monstrous play to keep his team alive. He flies through, shut down. Second one up to bat. He's shut down as well. Prey still alive on the inside. Only 17 seconds left, or only 5 seconds left. They have all the time that they need to. Nobody's going to get there to touch it. James Madison on Hydro Hardpoint. Disgusting team to look at. 250 to 111.
Yeah, they saw what they did on Embassy, and they just said, hey, you know what? Let's double that down here. We're going to go 250, 111 this time through on the control on Hydro. And I mean, Red Chase, you know what? Red Chase showed up here in this map. Absolutely kind of brought back the Red Chase that we were used to seeing, but could not go toe-to-toe with T-Web 31 and 14 and Prey with 26 and 16 on the other side. Both players going on individual 10 sprees throughout that map. JMU Esports, I mean, just had 2 players there that simply took over. And, I mean, the other 2 didn't really have to do anything when those 2 are running around the map killing like that, and JMU walks away with that map pretty easily.
That is a confident, organized, well-oiled machine we just saw there from James Madison, Jesse. That was just unbelievable on that map number 4. I mean, there's a reason why this team's undefeated in hardpoints, or there's why this team looks so good in their hardpoints. It's because when you got Prey putting up numbers in the sub category and T-Web just looking untouchable in the AR category, you have all the categories for a team to just 100-point club anything they want on a Hydro hardpoints. And, man, they make it look good. A little bit of a slip up towards the end. They did slow down, but, I mean, with the lead that they had, Jesse, it was just a matter of time.
I was going to say, I don't think they cared once they were up 240 to whatever Chattanooga was at once they hit that. I mean, they were in a position where it did not matter what happened. They were going to close that game out at some point or another. It just so happened, you know what, they want to make one more break call, and they got one more towards the back. Honestly, without Red Chase's little resurgence in the middle of that map there, I honestly don't even think that UTC hits 100 points inside of that game. Just not a good game. Superior with a very, very rough game. You can see here at 1.4 and 20 inside of the map. I think they finished like 5 and something at the end of it, but not a great map there from the likes of Superior. And you know what? You can't put it all on them, but at the same time, everybody needs to step up a little bit when you're going up against a team like JMU. And JMU, I think they're turning a lot of heads, and they're going to be flying a little bit further up those power rankings, Colin.
I think, you know, if you're not going to, you know, practice your Hydro hardpoints, if you're UTC and, like, figure out a way to get this into your map pool, this needs to be an auto veto. They did not look comfortable on that map. I mean, maybe going to a Mercado would have been a different story, but Hydro hardpoint is not friendly to UTC, and we get a look back at that scoreboard. It just shows 19 and 22 from Slim, 13 and 20 from Pixels. We don't get to look at Superior, but I saw he was 4 and 20 at one point, and he was not keeping up with Prey or Kelp in that sub role.
Yeah, I think he finished with 7 or 8 in the game, which is it's just not enough, right? I like that point that you bring up though, Colin, about Hydro not really being one of their great maps, and the fact they haven't played a Mercado yet at this point of the year. So maybe Mercado might have to work its way into the map pool here for UTC. I mean, what are they, 2-6 now in hardpoint on the year? It can't hurt to play a Mercado, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, you got to figure out something to play. Because, I mean, you played 2 hard points throughout your series. You played 2 search and destroys. It looks like they have their search and destroy, well pat down. But one of these respawns have to turn around for Chattanooga in the future. As we take a look back at our series, 250 to 177 in the hard point, 3-1 in the control, 250 to 111 in the hydro hard points. And then James Madison University, only a little bit of a blunder towards that round 11 in search and destroy. But other than that, they look solid here in CCL. A well-earned 17th spot in the power rankings, Jesse.
Yeah, absolutely a well-earned 17th slot. And like I said, I think they're going to move up. I can see them maybe inside top 15, maybe creeping on the outside of top 10, like 12 to 15 area next week. I will see where I put them in my power rankings. But this was a big win for them over UTC. Very happy to see them kind of pop off like that here as well. We love seeing new talent, Colin, coming inside of the CCL. It's absolutely great to see in JMU with another fantastic performance here.
I've been a big fan of James Madison since I've seen them this year, and I can't wait to see what they have next week against Mars Hill. That's going to be, I guess,
that's like their big test, right? Yeah,
it's like a defining game right there. Is the James Madison versus Mars Hill match that we're going to be seeing next week. Can't wait to get the results of that, but we still have one match tonight to get to. Our match number 3 is going to be a Division 2 matchup, and before that, I want to give a big sponsor shout-out to America's Navy for helping put this one on. As high school seniors who enter the delayed entry program before March and graduate from high school prior to leaving for boot camp starting in June may be eligible for an additional $10,000 bonus. So if you're looking at a career path, after high school and looking towards America's Navy, they got plenty of career fields in leading edge areas for you to check out. So go show some love to America's Navy if you're looking for that career path in your future. And for our future, it's going to be a match 3 coming up next after this break. We'll see you there.